Mark Anderson's first week in rural Vermont had already felt like stepping into another world. The air was cool and damp as dawn broke, vines of mist curling around ancient maples, and the scent of pine so vivid it felt like breathing fresh paint. In his cedar-sided kitchen, Mark cradled his coffee mug, marveling at how the rising sun splintered through the haze, until a flash of movement snagged his gaze. 20 yards out, a bobcat stood like a living shadow, its amber eyes, pinpricks of intelligence, scanning his face. Before he could blink, a firm tap sounded on the window pane. Once, twice, like a secret summons. His heart kicked. What did it want? The next morning, and the next, the ritual repeated, with clockwork precision, between 6:30 and 7:0. Mark and his wife Bella whispered theories over their second sips of coffee. Was the bobcat hungry, staking its territory, or delivering a cryptic message? Bella's voice trembled with worry. Wild predators didn't behave like guests. Fair. But Mark shook his head, remembering the reinforced glass demanded by their insurer. Bobcats didn't prey on humans. They chased rabbits and mice. Yet each day, the bobcat pressed its paw against the glass with unwavering intent, leaving them both unsettled. On the 10th morning, Mark felt a pull he couldn't ignore. He slipped on heavy boots, grabbed his walking stick and GPS-loaded phone, and slipped out into the crisp air. The bobcat waited, its sleek coat a patchwork of grey and brown that melted into the fog. It trotted away, pausing at intervals to glance back, ensuring he followed. Mark's pulse drummed in his ears as he traced its path along a narrow game trail, passing a gnarled oak struck by lightning, a moss-clad boulder, and a fallen log blanketed in shelf mushrooms, each landmark etched into his mind like pages of a map. After 15 minutes, they crested a small rise, and there it was, a weathered grey cabin hiding among the trees. The bobcat padded to a corner of the foundation and tapped urgently at the stones. Its ears tilted forward. Beneath the structure came a soft, distressed mule. Mark knelt, heart in his throat, and shone his phone's flashlight into a narrow gap. There, gasping and trembling, lay a tiny bobcat kitten. Its back leg bent at an ugly angle, breath shallow as a dying ember. "Oh God," he whispered, hands shaking as he dialed Bella, then Green Mountain Wildlife Rescue. Linda answered on the second ring, her voice a calm river. With 3 decades of experience, she'd heard wild stories, but never one like this. A mother bobcat seeking human aid. She promised to arrive in 45 minutes. Mark crouched by the foundation, kneading his fists to stay warm, as the mother bobcat kept watch a few paces away. Her golden eyes locked on him with something that felt eerily like trust. What would happen if he reached out? When Linda's SUV finally rolled to a stop, she unloaded a grab tool, heavy-duty gloves, and a custom carrier. The mother bobcat stood a respectful distance off, her muscles coiled like springs, yet she didn't flee or growl. Over 2 painstaking hours, Linda and Mark gently pried loose, unstable stones, careful not to collapse the foundation. Every few moments, the mother clicked a soft chirp, and Mark swore he saw gratitude in her gaze. At last, Linda scooped the kitten free, its breathing still, ragged. "V severely dehydrated, leg likely broken," she murmured, sliding the youngster into its carrier with loving precision. At the wildlife centre, the next 6 weeks passed in a blur of bandage changes and enrichment play. The kitten learned to pounce on dangling toys, rebuilding strength in its injured leg, while the mother's fierce watchfulness softened into curious calm as she observed her baby's recovery from a sheltered viewing space. Mark and Bella visited on weekends, soaking up Linda's lessons about bobcats as vital guardians of New England's forests, silent protectors keeping rodent herds in check. They learned of a mother's devotion, of kittens taught every nuance of survival before setting out alone. When crisp autumn air signaled release day, Mark and Bella accompanied Linda back to their property. Near the same fog-lit clearing where Mark first followed that mysterious call, they opened both carriers. The kitten bolted forth, its gait fluid and sure, no hint of limp. Seconds later, the mother slipped out, pausing at the tree line to look at Mark. In her eyes, he saw that same spark that first drew him in. Only now there was calm satisfaction, as if she said, "Oh, thank you." Then she melted into the amber woods, kitten at her side, and they were gone. In the weeks that followed, Mark and Bella found themselves glued to their window each morning, half expecting another paw tap. Instead, they glimpsed the pair at a distance, mother teaching kitten to hunt, crouching in sun-warmed rocks, or grooming each other by moonlight. Oh, their daughter Emma, visiting from college, watched in awe. It's like they know we understand, she whispered. Mark nodded, remembering those urgent taps at the glass. He realised that nature doesn't just whisper. Sometimes it taps, and if we listen with open hearts, compassion can bridge even the wildest gaps. And every dawn, coffee in hand, he remains ready, just in case another creature comes calling.